1, 2, 3, 4. My name is John Wort Hannam, and I'm here at Studio Bell in Calgary. I live in Lethbridge, Alberta, but I'm up here for the week, being artist in residence. One of the songs that I'm working on here is a song called Lucky Strikes. It's about a real-life person that I met after a show in Northern Ontario, and ended up going out after going to the bar and having a drink to wind down a bit. There was a woman sitting at the bar, and we struck up a conversation, and basically over a period of about 3 hours, she told me her life story, and I condensed that 30 years down to about a 3.5-minute song. I usually write lyrics first with a melody in mind, so it's not like the melody comes first or the lyrics come first. They sort of come together, but what I've noticed over the years, working on the craft of songwriting, there's almost inherent melodies in lyrics and the cadence in which words are spoken. For example, the first line, as I mentioned before, is she likes lucky strikes, bourbon on her lips, playing slots and big jackpots, and blowing all her tips. That alone, the way that sort of rolls off the tongue leads to kind of bumbling over, just chords and things like that. But this one was started on this E, and I just started to sing. Well, she likes lucky strikes, bourbon on her lips, playing slots and big jackpots and blowing all her tips. Though there's not an ocean for miles and miles around, nights in her trailer she waits for a sailor to take her from this town. When I was writing the song, I was trying sort of not to necessarily tell the story outright, but to sort of create some images. And the first thing I noticed was the packet of cigarettes that she had beside her at the bar. And through the conversation, she told me that her favorite cigarettes were Lucky Strikes, but that she couldn't get them anymore. And so right away I thought, okay, well that's how I'm going to open the song. That's sort of I guess the spark of it. But really the main theme of the song really was that she had told me, I asked her if she was married or had any children, and she said no, because she had been too picky in her life, and that any man that had shown any sort of interest in her, she felt like he wasn't good enough, and that she realized now that she was sort of in her late years that she had missed all the opportunities that had come forward, and that she was alone. And it was kind of a sad story, but she was regretting the fact that she had been too picky when it came to having a partner. She seemed to find a flaw in everything, and I think what I've figured out over the years is that we're all flawed in some way, so if somebody says they love you, then you better maybe hang on to them tight. And I think that's really sort of the moral of the song. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Rylan Moran's, also from Lethbridge, Alberta, came up and played some electric guitar for me on the track. And we left it just as that, just vocals, me on the acoustic and Rylan on the electric. Because one of the other things I'm really, really guilty of, and I always seem to regret after a recording, is that I get carried away in the studio, and sometimes I forget that the spirit in which the song was written, which is just me sitting at my kitchen table drinking coffee and playing, it gets lost sometimes. And so I really wanted to make sure that I sort of stuck to that strict rule of let's just make a really, really stripped down, bare bones recording. So when the church bell rang and the choir sang, the other thing, that I wanted to do when I came here is I knew that there was a huge collection of instruments and gear here at the National Music Centre. Here's a perfect example. I've never laid my hands on a 1935 Martin, and I guess the added bonus is this is Neil Young's 1935 Martin, and I wouldn't have an opportunity to even pick up an instrument like this if it wasn't for the National Music Centre. And there's lots of others. I've played some electric guitars, and again, that's something I don't own. So it was really, really nice to have the time to, I guess, just fool around a bit. It's partly what I'm doing is I'm fooling around here yeah, it's just something unique that I've just never done before.